There we go. Okay, hi everybody. All right,
Hi,
let's
teacher.
I do.
hi. Let's get cracking. All right, these exercises are absolutely beautiful. These are the easiest way to apply whatever we have studied about sets into some context. All right, these are where the most amount of questions from your IB are going to come out of. All right. So if there's something you really want to study from sets, is this right here. This and the ones that we're going to explain a little bit later. All right. So let's begin with the first one. All right. We have exercise 8H. 8H. Question 1. All right. There are 25 students in a class. All right. There are 25 students in a class. Now, 17 of those study French, and some 12 others study Malay. But then there are 10 people who study both languages. So we need to show this information using a Venn diagram. All right, beautiful. So let's get cracking with the first part. Let's try to show a Venn diagram. Now, any Venn diagram begins with the universal set. And inside of that set, we are going to have our two sets of studies. One is going to be French, and the other one is going to be Malay, right? So let's do a little ball for French, and then another one for Malay. And then I'm going to call it M. Beautiful. I have the students who study French, and then the students who study Malay. Beautiful, beautiful stuff here. All right. Again, let's try to put the information of the exercise in the diagram. The exercise says that there are 25 students in a regular class, and 17 study French. All right, 17 study French. So I'm going to have to do 17 dots, each dot representing a student, right? So I'm going to have to do 17 dots in French. Instead of doing 17 dots, why don't I just write the number 17? It's a little bit easier, right? Instead of having to do this, instead of having to do all of that, I can just write 17. But there's a problem. There is a problem. 17 people study French. But out of those 17, if I write 17 here, and then I write the 12 other students there, 12 students who study Malay, right? All of a sudden I have a problem. Because now inside of the universal set, I have 17 studying French plus another 12 studying Malay. That is a total of 29. But we know from the exercise that there are 25 students in the class. So how is this possible? How is this possible? I have 17 in one class, in one studying one language, and then 12 of them studying another language. How is that possible? The reason is because, as the exercise is saying, 10 students are studying both languages. 10 students are studying both languages. That means here, inside the two little balls are 10 students. In the intersection, now, if you cannot see it, let me do these circles a little bit bigger. All right, let's see. French and Malay. There we go. French and Malay. And then the universal. Beautiful. So again, inside, I was saying there was 17 here, 12 there, and then 10 in the middle, right? But then that comes with another problem. Not only I increase the amount in the universal even further, now I have 17 and 12, that's 29, and 10, that's 39 students. Not only I have 39 total, which is a mistake, because I have, again, according to the exercise, I only have 25 in total. Not only that, But now, if you look at French, in French, we no longer have 17 people. We have 27 people. Remember, these 10 are also inside French. Remember, this is the circle for French. So 10 students are inside of French, as well as these 17. So now we have 27 students studying French. So that is a problem. That is a problem. And how do we fix that problem? Absolutely simple. Instead of writing 17 outside, we're going to make our calculations so that the diagram represents the information accurately. Okay, we know 17 people are studying French, but we already have 10 of those here. 10 people are studying French and Malay. So out of those 17 who study French, 10 of those also study Malay. Did you see what I did there? In result, we only have 7 that study French alone, that only study French. 7 that only study French plus 10 who study both subjects. In total of 17. We can do the same with Malay. Again, we have 12 students who like to study Malay. But 10 of those study both languages. So in the circle of Malay, we already have 10. How much do we put outside? Or the rest of the amount? Only 2. Now we can count. In total, people who are studying subjects are 7 plus 2, that's 9, plus 10, 19. Wait a minute. That's a problem as well. That is also a problem. That is also a problem because we know there are 25 students. Right here, we only have 19. So what did we do wrong? We did not count. Yes?
Well, the other students don't study neither.
Beautiful. We did not count for the people who just don't like to study these subjects. We didn't count those people. Those people are also students in a class. So those people belong in the universal set. But they don't go in French or they don't go in Malay. That means they go outside over here in this sector, outside of the circles, but inside the rectangle. And that would be the total. Now the question is, how much should I put outside? How much? We have 25 in total. We know that. That gives us, that information is given to us by the exercise. And we also have 19 people already. So how much is there left from 25 to become, I'm sorry, from 19 to become 25?
6.
Beautiful. That means 6 people. 6 people do not study French, do not study Malay, but are also students in a class. Now, that would be the first step. Show this information in a Venn diagram, and I am showing that. Right now. Now, let's get with the questions. Let's begin with the questions. Go with the first one. A. Find the number of students who study French only. All right. Study French only means the circle of French, but do not count the ones who study both. So do not count these 10. That means only 7 people study French only. Beautiful. Let's go with B. Study Malay or French or both. So I need to count the people who study French, Malay, or maybe they like to study both. All right. Here I have 7 people who like to study French. Those go in here. Those go in here for sure. But not only those, because again, the question is study Malay or French. So I just count the ones from French. Then I have 2 who study Malay. 2 who study Malay alone. But also the exercise says study Malay or French or both. And these 10 study both. So I have 7 who study French alone, 2 who study Malay alone, plus 10 who study both. In total, 19 people to study French or Malay or both. Beautiful stuff here. All right, let's continue with C. Find the number of students who study neither subject. They don't like to study any of those. So the ones who are outside the little circles, right? This 6 over here. Beautiful stuff. And then, but not least, find the number of students who do not study both subjects. What? What is this? The people who do not study both. Okay. So this is a regular wording for the said complement. Do not whatever. The ones outside of whatever. We are looking for the complement of both. Now, both is this set over here. This is the set of the ones who study both, right? So we are looking for everything else. That is the complement. The ones outside this sector. Okay, these 7, they don't study both. They just study French alone. These 2,
9.
they don't. Yes, brother. A little bit bigger than 9. These 2 are 9. Yes,
We do not count
15.
but
50.
don't forget about these ones, right?
15.
These, yes, these are also outside the intersection part. So again, we have 7 who only study French. They don't study both. We have 2 who study Malay. They don't study both. Only Malay. And we also have 6 who don't study at all. They don't study French or Malay. They don't study both. For a total of 15. And that will be it, guys. We have our solution here: 7, 19, 6, and 15. All right. The easiest way to answer these questions, and in future questions, we are going to have to use these numbers and apply them for probabilities. Ooh, that's nice. But for now, we are taking baby steps, right? These numbers, the easiest way to get these numbers are by looking at the drawing. So the first step in every one of these exercises, even if the exercise does not tell you to draw a diagram, the first step should be to draw a diagram. Because you don't want to, if you don't want to draw it, because I don't know, maybe you're feeling lazy or maybe you're feeling small, a little bit faster in your mind. If that's so, you can go ahead and try this in your mind. But I assure you, you will have difficulties. Just do the drawing. All right. If there are questions in this one, we are going to solve them. If not, we are going to jump into question 2. So guys, did you have any questions or not? Okay, I'm assuming not. All right, beautiful. Let's go to question number 2. I'm going to do 1, 2, and then I'm going to jump to 5 because I feel like the last one, number 5, is a little bit harder, right? These exercises are absolutely simple, but in this topic, number 5 is a little bit harder. So I want to check that one too. All right. Question number 2. In a class, 20 people take geography. All right. I don't know if question number 2 says or not to draw this information in a Venn diagram, but I want to do it. I want to do it because I know how important these diagrams are. If I want to be able to solve this information to 5 questions A, B, C, and D, I need to have this information in a Venn diagram. All right. And I have 20 people in a class taking geography. So I know we have one class, which is geography. Beautiful. Then 17 people take history. All right, so we have a second circle of the people who take history. Beautiful. 10 people take both subjects, and 1 person takes neither subject. All right, beautiful. So my advice for you guys, whenever you try to do this information, these drawings, is to read the question first and then fill out the information in the sectors, all right? Don't begin filling the information, like don't do the circle of geography and then write 17. No, because that is going to give you a problem. That will give you a problem. What you should do instead is try to fill out the information from inside out. Try to fill in the information of the intersection first. And whenever we have three diagrams of three, like these ones, 1, 2, and 3, that could happen as well. That will happen eventually. I don't think this will happen in this exercise, but this will happen. Try to fill in the information from the intersection first and then outside, right? That will make things a lot easier for you. So if I do that, and exercise 2 says that 10 people take both subjects. So I know inside here we have 10 people. 10 people take both subjects, right? Now I can fill out the information outside. Again, 20 people take geography. So if I write 20 here, that will be a mistake because now inside geography, which is the entire circle, geography is not just the sector, it's the entire circle. I have 30 people. That is a mistake. I need the amount of people inside the circle of geography, I need it to be just 20, which means people who study geography alone are 10. All right. Same with history. 17 people take history. I already have 10 of those, meaning 7 of those 17 take history alone. And last but not least, one person, takes neither subject. That means one person is going to go outside of the diagram. Now, if I did this information correctly, I should have the total amount of people. But we don't know the total amount of people in the exercise because the exercise is not giving us that information. It just says 20 people study geography, 10 people is taking history, 10 study both, and 1 study none. We don't have the total. But if we add, we will have the total, right? All right. Now that we finished with the diagram, let's continue with the questions. All right, question A says, find the number of students who are in the class. So the total amount. All right, just count the sectors. We have 10 plus 10 plus 7 plus 1. Let me write them right here. We have 10 plus 10 plus 7 plus 1. All right, this will be 28 people. We have 28 students in our class. Beautiful stuff. Question B. Find the number of students who do not study history. Remember, do not would be a wording for the complement. So we are looking at the complement of history.
11.
This is the circle of history. We just count the ones outside. Yes, buddy?
11, 11.
Yes, Papa. Excellent. The ones outside history, we have the little circle of history. Outside of history, we have this 10 and this 1. So let me just write them here. We have 10 plus 1. We have a total of 11. Now, you don't have to do all these additions like I did. I'm just doing them because I want you to learn or to realize where are these numbers coming from. But if you want to do this exercise or maybe an exam or maybe a quiz, whatever, you can just write the numbers, right? You don't have to, these additions can be done in the mind, right? So you don't have to write these additions if you don't want. All right, then C. Number of people who study geography but no history. Okay, so we have a no. Remember that no means the complement. But
Yes.
what do we do with the geography? Okay, that would be an intersection. So we are looking at the sector of geography, this circle, geography, but the ones of geography that are not in history. These ones are in
Yes.
geography, but are also in history. So it has to be these 10 over here, right? 10 as well. Beautiful, guys. You guys are getting it. Beautiful. And last, again, not least, find the number of students who study geography or history, or both. So we have geography or history, or maybe both. So we have 10.
17.
How much? How much?
27.
17. No,
20. Yes. 10 of the people who
17.
study geography alone, plus 10 of the people who study both subjects, plus 7 of the people who study history alone, for a total of 27. I was going to write 28. 27. Beautiful stuff here. Beautiful
Profe,
stuff here.
Teacher,
But it
pero
says,
es que dice geografía o historia, pero
but
no
not
las dos.
both.
Ah, but no both. Okay, no both. Beautiful.
Sería
Both, but
17.
no both.
Sería
So we have,
17, ¿no?
yes, we have these 10 and these 7, but no both. So we are not going to count the ones in the intersection. We only have 10 plus 7, so 17. Beautiful, guys. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know, guys. All right. Pretty good, huh? Now, let me ask you something. You can write it in the chat or you can open the mic as you have been doing. It is okay. Don't worry. But let me know, please. How did you feel this topic? Is this kind of easy or maybe is this kind of hard?
well,
This
using
one-
exercises, it's easy. But I think it's kind of hard, like ¿cómo se llama, profe?
I don't know.
Como lo de intersection y eso, pero con los signitos.
Uh-huh.
Digamos, el ejercicio de la clase antepasada, el de P unión Q y
Okay,
con las
okay.
comitas, eso estaba súper difícil, a mí se me complicó mucho.
Okay, look, there is a chance that exercises like that one, the one you're talking about, will appear in the examinations. There is a chance. But to be honest, in my experience, those do not appear as usual as these. These. I mean, I can bet an arm right now. I can bet you this, the left arm. I can bet my left arm that you will have an exercise like this. So if you feel like this is easier, great, because this will appear for sure.
I think
Thank you.
the most difficult is the one that you have to like name. I didn't understand that one. Like
Okay.
the drawing, and you have to
To
make
do the
with,
shading.
no, the shading, no, the al revés.
Okay. You need to create from the shading.
Yeah.
You need to create the set.
Yes, that's one that I didn't.
Okay, that's kind of difficult though. That is kind of difficult. It is a little bit difficult for me though. But since it is difficult, I find it interesting. I don't know. I like this stuff a lot. All right. Let's go with the last one. Question number 5. Where is this thing? The book. There we go. Question number 5. This one. I'm talking about this one, number 5. All right. All right. Let me raise the board, and we will do it right away. Now, these type of questions, and hopefully we see that in the next part of the class. These type of questions can also be applied with 3 sets Venn diagrams, right? These type of questions can also be applied with those sets. And that is where the things get really exciting. That is where things get really, really exciting. All right, let's go with question number 5. There are 25 girls in the PE group. I have no idea what is the PE group, but there are 25 people, 25 girls there. All right.
Physical education.
Physical, thank you. Physical education. So we have our Venn diagram. There we go. And we have a little circle for PE. PE. Beautiful. Now, 13 have taken aerobics before. 17 have no. PE is everything, right? Physical education. This will be the universal. 13 has taken aerobics, so I'm going to call it A for aerobics. And 17 have taken gymnastics. So I'm going to do another circle, and I'm going to call it G for gymnastics. All right? One girl has done neither before. All right, let's fill out that information. Again, as usual, I advise you to fill out the information from the inside out. Always begin with the intersection. Problem here is that we don't have the information of the intersection. Look, 13 people have taken aerobics and 17 have taken gymnastics. We don't have the ones who have taken both. We don't have that. But what we do have is something in mathematics we all know, we all know and love. Something in mathematics so powerful that we always call it the same way. A variable, x. Because we have no idea how many people are inside the intersection. We don't know.
Lo podemos intentar.
So we're gonna call it a variable. Okay. Somebody, can you guys close the mics, please? Thank you, appreciate it. All right. So again, we don't know how many people are in the intersection. How many people have studied aerobics, have taken aerobics and taken gymnastics as well. We don't know how many. So we're gonna call it X. That's gonna be our variable. And the objective of this entire drawing is to find that variable, X. All right. Let's continue filling out the information. Now, we know 13 people have taken aerobics before, 13. Now, there is a problem. If I write 13 here, that means the people of aerobics will be 13 plus X. I don't know how many is X, but if this thing is 1, then there are 14 people. That is a problem. If this thing is 2, if the intersection is 2, then now we have 15 people. What I'm saying is we need to count the X as a part of aerobics, meaning this 13 cannot go entirely there. There has to be a number lower than 13 if X is 1 or 2 bigger than 0. So we do it like this: 13 minus X. Why? Think about it for a second. If we have one person here, 1. If I say X is 1, the intersection is 1. One person studied both. Then outside we have 13 minus 1. So we have 12, right? But if we count the aerobics, we have 12 plus 1. 13. Did you see what I did? If I say aerobics is 10 people. 10 people take both subjects, 10. That means X is 10. So this X is 10, right? It's the same X. This one is a little bit smaller, but it's the same X. So we have 13 minus 10 for a total of 3. Those 3 plus 10 will be 13. What I'm saying is that the people in aerobics will be the ones who only study aerobics, which are 13 minus X, plus the ones who study both. 13 minus X plus X. Inside the circle, we have 13. That one is awful, sorry. 13 minus X plus X. These ones plus these ones. And these, since we all know how to add these things will be canceled, and we have a total of 13. That is a beautiful, beautiful workaround by mathematicians to put the number outside. No matter how many people, we have in the intersection, writing it this way will give us the right amount in the aerobics. And that works also for the ones of gymnastics. Look, we know 17 people have taken gymnastics before. So outside here, we cannot write just the 17 alone. We cannot. Otherwise, the ones of gymnastics will be 17 plus X. Remember, gymnastics is the entire circles. This sector plus this sector. 17 plus X. And that would give us probably bigger than 17. We want 17 exactly. So we write it 17 minus the same x. Minus the same x, all right? Beautiful. So now we have that information. Now, one girl has done neither before. So we have one person who is outside of the circle of aerobics and one person, yes, and the same person outside the circle of gymnastics. So I'm going to write it right here. One person outside. All right? We have our information. Now, can we work out the x here? Yes or no? Yes.
With the 25?
Yes. I don't know who said that, but you are correct. With the 25.
Profe, pero si no es más fácil, pues es que yo lo hice de otra manera. Yo despejé la X, pero solo con los 24 para sumarle el 1 después. O sea,
Sure.
saqué la X con el 3, o sea, lo que dan 17 más 13, dan 30. Y eso, menos 24 da 6. Eso es solo lo que está dentro de A y G. O sea, es la intersección 6. Y
Sure.
eso todo sumado da 24 más el 1 da 5. Entonces ahí me sale, ¿sí se puede así o tiene que ser específicamente?
Two answers, all right? Two answers for you, my friend. Two answers. Number one, yes, it can be done because you did it. The fact that you did it means it can be done. But the second answer, that process will only work when you do it with this type of exercises, with only two circles, with only two sets. If we jump into the ones with 3 sets, you will see that there are some other possibilities. And if you do that subtraction, you will have problems, all right? So can you do it that way? Yes, only with this type of exercises. Can you do it every time? No, not every time. No, it's not going to work.
Listo, profe, gracias.
All right. So for the people who haven't been able to see it, because some people have seen the answer already, okay, that's great. But for the people who have not been able to do it, I'm going to solve it. Things are absolutely simple when we realize that we do have a total. The exercise 5 says that we have 25 people in total. 25 people. That means those 25, which are the total, 25, has to be the addition of every single sector. The ones who study aerobics alone, the ones who study gymnastics alone, the one who study both, and the one who study none. So let's do that addition here. We have 13 minus x. These are the ones who study aerobics alone. Plus 17 minus x. Those are the ones who takes gymnastics alone. Plus x for the ones who study both. Plus 1 for the ones who study none. All right. So now that we have our, let me do this again, minus x. There we go. Now that we have our equation, we can solve it absolutely simple. There are two ways. Number one, with your calculator, right? You jump into the solver and you do it. Absolutely simple. And number two, using your mind. Why? Because people from 7th grade do this type of equations. You did it when you were in 7th grade. This is a linear equation with one variable. It has 3. It appears 3 times, but it is the same variable, x. And the maximum exponent is to the 1, right? That is the maximum exponent, 1. Meaning this is a linear equation. Only one solution. Only one. Absolutely simple. In case you don't remember, the idea here is to move everything that is not an x to one side of the equation and everything that is an x to the other side of the equation. And then work out the mathematics. So let's do that right now. We have, let's move to the left the numbers and to the right the variables. So we have 25, which is this one over here, 25, right? This 13, I'm going to pass it to subtract. We're going to have minus 13. Let me do a little line to indicate that what's what I have been doing. 17, I'm gonna move it to subtract as well. So minus 17, and then the 1, right? We're gonna pass it to subtract as well. Minus 13, minus 17, and minus 1. Beautiful stuff. In the other side, to the right, we are going to have the letters, the variables. Now, respect the symbols. Otherwise, you're going to have a mistake. We have negative x, which is this one, right? Negative x and x plus x. Beautiful. All we have to do now is do the mathematics in here. 25 minus 13 minus 17 minus 1. How much is that? Okay, this is 30, right? 25 minus 30 will give us minus 5. Minus 1 will be minus 6. Beautiful, minus 6. And this will be negative x minus x plus x. Now, you can do the additions, but you can just say minus x with one positive x, look, negative x and positive x. You can cancel those. So we have negative x. And the beauty of this is that now we have one negative number being equal to the variable but negative, which means that the variable is 6. The people in the intersection, were 6. There were 6 people in the intersection. Now, just to make things a little bit prettier, I am going to write those real numbers with purple. So we have inside 6, right? We have inside 6 people, but we need a total of 13. So in this sector, we have 13 minus 6, which means we have 7. Beautiful. And in this other side, we have 17 minus 6. 11 in this sector. That is it. We can verify our information, our data, to know if the total gave us 25. Let's see. 7 plus 6 plus 11. This will be 13, right? Plus 11, which is 24. Plus 1, which is 25. Beautiful stuff. We did it, guys. We did it. And now that we have our drawing, now we can answer the questions. Always, guys. I haven't even looked at the questions. I don't know, for real. I don't know if the question wanted me to do this diagram. I don't know if the question wanted me to find these numbers. I don't know. I don't care. Because I know in order for me to solve questions A, B, and C, I need to know these numbers. So I do all this process before even looking at the questions. All right, let's see. Question A. Find the number of girls who have taken both activities. We find it already. We already found it. Look at that. For question A, the answer will be 6 students. All right. For B, find the amount of people who have taken gymnastics, but no aerobics. All right. So the amount of people who have taken gymnastics, 17 people, right? Oh, but no aerobics. So only the ones who have taken gymnastics alone. So we have 11 people there. Beautiful. And last but not least, the people who have taken at least one of those activities. We have 2 activities. How many people have taken at least one? Okay. We need to ask ourselves. These 7 people here, have they taken any activity at all? Well, yes, right? These 7 people are in the sector of aerobics. Aerobics, yes. So these 7 people count. They have taken at least one activity. What? Which one? Aerobics. How about these 6? Have these 6 people taken any activity?
Yes.
Well, yes. In fact, they have taken both activities, aerobics and gymnastics, right? So this count as well. They have taken at least one. They have taken 2, but they have taken at least one. And these people, these 11, have they taken at least one activity? Well, yes, right? They are in the sector of gymnastics. So they have taken at least gymnastics. The only one who haven't taken at least one activity is the one who is outside the circles. So we know the people who have taken at least one activity are the ones who take aerobics alone, plus the one who've taken gymnastics alone, plus the ones who have taken both activities, for a total of 24. Beautiful, guys. That'll be it. That will be how you solve this type of questions. Again, remember, whenever you have this information, this type of questions, sorry, try to answer from the inside out. And if you don't have that information, mark it with a variable. We call it X in mathematicians because we are not very creative. We usually use the same. It works. So we just repeat it. X, but you can call it anything, right? You can call it Y, Z, L, I don't know, use whatever, right? And then from there, try to work it out from the inside out. Once you have the numbers, you can answer the questions absolutely easy. Guys, did you have any questions?
No.
Nope.
No, pues no
Okay,
creo.
beautiful, excellent. So I'm gonna end up the video here, and we will continue with the class. Thank you.
Gus, do you think in